Cool, welcome back. So our first trend is Scarlet Mood. So every season we go to Fashion Week, and you know, it says it's called Fashion Week, but it actually goes for a really long month. So the guys do New York first, then we come back to London, then we do Milan. By the time we get to Paris, we're exhausted. Then we have about 5 minutes off, and then we have to hurry up and write down everything that we've seen and kind of collate a visual presentation and course that we like to share with everybody. And Warren is amazing. He does all the color stuff for us. The amazing thing about what these guys do is they get inspiration from the catwalks and the fabrics and then turn it into color. And he's going to talk to you a little bit about it first. Scarlet Mood is going to be the first trend we're talking about. For me, this is a super romantic trend. It's about female sensuality. It's about being really colorful, and we talk about hair as our fabric, and for me it kind of meshes together. It's about flowing fabrics, and it gives you that kind of holiday feeling. So if you think about being on holidays and you have that sexy glow, this is what this trend is all about. There's lots of ruffles in the trend. It's a little bit Latino, and it's about being naturally beautiful. Lots of florals in prints again, which you always see in spring, summer, and it's about flouncing shape. So that goes with fabrics and hair. So Warren will talk to you about colour now.
Cool, fantastic, thanks Maria. So as Maria said, what we actually communicate is Pantone. So we look at what the guys are doing on the runway, we look at the Pantones, or the colours that we see on the clothes going down the runway, and we predict colours for spring, summer, autumn, winter. We then actually communicate, and we speak to Maria and Marco and the rest of the session team, and when we create the session course, from a colour perspective, we then really dissect who the woman is. So each woman is represented by a trend or a tribe, and then how we communicate it to you guys is who the woman is who sits in the chair. So for Scarlet Mood, Maria's really spoke about the personality of who the woman is. When we talk about colour and who the woman is as well, the colour palette here is very seamless, it's very polished and saturated. Here the woman wants really opulent, expensive colour. So the Pantones that really go with this is like mulberry reds, rich brunettes, like deep cognacs, and you also see apricot and sun-kissed blondes as well. So here you can work with different techniques, so you can work with what we refer to as a global application of colour, which is from the roots to the end, which can be achieved with our permanent colour range, which is TIGI Copyright Colour Creative, and there you would work with really expensive colour. A massive trend that we're seeing is a move away from the root stretch, and a commercial trend that we're seeing is something that we refer to as contouring, where you can really customise the colour. So with contouring, what you create is something very similar to makeup, and what you actually do is accentuate certain features of the facial canvas. So you work with a deeper internal structure, and then around the face, you create softer, lighter pieces, so working with sun-kissed blondes and more like velvet blondes as well that really complement the spring-summer palette. Cheers, Maria.
That's amazing, Warren. So we've done some hair for you tonight, and I think that this is a perfect way to explain every facet of what we're talking about. And we're going to go and introduce you to Vic, our first model. Okay, so we've done a little bit of prep. So first of all, using bodifying spray as our fabric. Okay, so that will just give the hair a little bit of texture. We're spraying that onto dry hair. Just a natural blast. Of course, she has perfect hair, cheated a little bit, but if you have more movement in the hair, you can smooth it out a little bit as well. I've just done it with my mason on the ends. Just a little bit of twisting to create a natural movement as well. So the idea is to create this effortless kind of look, so we don't want the hair to be too perfect. And then through the front, I've just added a bit more movement with my round brush. So again, for me, that's kind of my trademark. I love that sweeping kind of feeling, so I put a little bit more effort into that. There's our hero product, our Work It hairspray. Okay, so again, spraying that onto the hair, fasten it with a little elastic band, and then you'll see me just split the hair into two in a second, a little bit more spray. Okay, so depending on the size of the ponytail is depending on how big the two sections are. And simply just twisting it round and then making a little knot out of it. So again, it's meant to be quite random and bespoke to the person that you're working on, and it can be different every single time you do it. So just fastening with some grips. I use a combination of normal grips and invisible grips, which is great. So it's always about using what you're most comfortable with. And then I kind of tweak it with my hands again, creating more of a texture, random texture. And the last bit again, you see me kind of turning it round, but it ends up being quite flat, so it's not quite like a ballerina bun, it's a bit more of a modern take on things. Okay, and really, when you first start learning how to do hair up, the most difficult part is knowing where to put the hair. So you see me kind of taking my time with it and looking for a visual balance, so it doesn't really have to be completely perfect. Okay, cool, so again, just using the grips to fasten it. I tend to use colours similar to the hair. If you see a grip, it's not the end of the world. And you know, we kind of break the rules with this type of session hair now. It's about creating something different every time, so have fun with kind of experimenting with it. So just a couple more bits. Vic has quite long hair, so I could make more loops with the hair. If it's shorter, the knot just looks a little bit smaller and more controlled. Okay, so it's really great. She's got this light colour in the ends as well, which creates more of a soft texture. So moving through the front, detailing the hair. Excuse me. Again, for me, this is a really important part of this particular look because it's about making the hair look windswept, and I'm using the Work It spray to pull the hair away from the face. And you can see when I put the ponytail in, I left the hair quite baggy, so it allows me to mold and manipulate the shape. So in a way, it's like doing a haircut. This is how you personalize your hair up. So it really takes you away from being too strict with what you're doing. Okay, so we're coming back live. Fantastic. Here she is. I mean, she's gorgeous, so that we cheat a little bit. We always work with beautiful girls, so we're really lucky. But now I'm just going to finish the look, and for me, it's about, you know, setting the hair a little bit. You can see I've used some silver clips. Now these clips are amazing because, I mean, Marco talks about this all the time. It's like having an extra set of hands. So Johnny's not here tonight, so I've had to use the silver clips. But what that does for me is kind of set the hair without gripping it and leaving too much of a dent, because it actually doesn't have any teeth on it. So these are amazing. Okay, you can get these from most hairdressing supply shops. So now coming back to my buddy. Okay, Work It. And I'm just going to not overdo it with the product. Okay, I really want this to be quite translucent, so you can imagine the girls walking on the runway and the hair's moving really gently. And this is a quite animated storytelling look, so you know, when you see the clothes as well moving with the hair, it's quite beautiful. These are all the little things we look out for when designers are giving us their brief as well. If you know, they say the words romantic and flowing. Okay, we really have to listen to all the little details. Cool, amazing. So, no more hairspray, we'll just stand Vic up. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to turn her around. Hang on 1 second, darling. Just put one more grip in it. And this is a great thing, I think, when you're finishing off hair like this as well. It's really important to do a 360 with the model and make sure that it's looking right from every single angle. So again, it's about remembering that the girls are going to be walking and moving, so you're going to see every angle and you have to kind of really look into the detail of it. So again, I hope you enjoyed the look, and we're going on to our next trend with Marco.